Hello, my name is Ambrose, and for this class, I am going to share with you an extract of an actual contract drawn by the initiative of Tech Heart, Kenya, and signed by the employee Ambrose Alwala. This contract is just a few aspects of the actual contract, and the information is confidential. But for this class, I will be sharing a few lines of the contract, especially that tackles the aspects that we have discussed. The employment agreement is made on a specific day, and the date is the 9th March of 2025. And the contract is between two parties, the initiative of TechHeart Kenya, whose registration number is shown. That is not the actual registration number. And the employee is Ambrose Otieno Alwala, whose ID number is shown. The parties agree to the following terms and conditions governing the employment to the employee. That is very important. Now we are going to look at the various aspects we have discussed in class, and the position and duties. The contract clearly outlines the position of the employee. The employee in question is employed to undertake financial responsibility, so his role is a financial manager. The employee will be responsible for performing the duties and responsibilities which are described in Schedule A. So I will not go into details to discuss all the responsibilities and the roles of the employee, but normally they would be in a schedule, and the employee is able to look at them and sign against that particular page. The employment period. This contract also outlines that the employee is going to be employed for a year. So this is a 1 year contract, and it is renewable annually or terminated by either parties as per the terms of this agreement. Compensation. So under compensation, this contract clearly outlines that the employee will be paid 2,000 US dollars per month. There will be other benefits that includes medical insurance, a 21-day paid leave per year, and travel allowance. And the employee is also entitled to retirement plan. Employees' best interest. This is where we discussed that the employee must at all times act in the best interest of the employee and in accordance to the law of the land. Confidentiality. So this is where the non-disclosure agreement or clause comes in, that the employee agrees to keep all confidential information of the employer strictly confidential, both during employment and after. The number 6, we also discussed the non-complete and exclusivity clause. Non-complete, hereby the employee agrees not to engage in businesses that competes with the employee's business for a period of 6 months after the termination of the employment within 1,000 miles of radius. That specifies what the employee can do after the termination of the contract. If he decides to renew the contract, then he is not bound to that. If an employee decides to terminate it, then he is bound to not engage in any business that is similar to what the employer is undertaking. Exclusivity herein discusses that the employee is not allowed to take part in activities similar to the ones that the employer is undertaking during his employment. This is a financial manager, so he is not allowed to manage other organizations' finances during the period of his employment. Number 7 discusses the morality clause that this employee is expected to conduct himself in a manner that reflects positively on the company. This would be both when he is working and when he is off the clock. The actions both on social media and in public places reflects the image of the organization. So strictly, the employee must engage in ethical standards. Termination, that the employee can terminate this particular contract. The employer may also terminate this agreement immediately for a cause including but not limited to gross misconduct, dishonesty, or breach of this agreement. If this contract has to be terminated, then a 30-day written notice has to be issued by both parties. The employer must issue an agreement before uh, terminating the contract. The employee must also do the same. If not, then either of the party may be liable to pay for the damages caused. The governing law. This contract also outlines that we will strictly adhere to the laws of the land. In this case, the employment is taking part in the Republic of Kenya. So the laws that governs employment, labor law, everything shall be in liaison to what the government of Kenya wants. The entire agreement. Now, this is where the employee and the employer will sign that this agreement constitutes the entire understanding between the employer and the employee regarding employment, superseding all prior agreements or understandings. This contract cannot be legal if the parties have not signed. So each party has to sign. If employer signs and the employee has not signed, then it doesn't bind. So for the contract to bind, then Ambrose has to sign, and then Tekat has to also sign. That concludes my presentation, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.